Perfect timing.
I've got to go and run my empire.
And welcome back to Ginexplicable. I'm with my beautiful featured guest today, Miss Shano. What we are drinking today,
Shit cheap gin.
it's probably not one of the finest gins you will ever come across. It is simply called Finton's.
It's really nice, actually.
Very nice.
I don't have a gin, man. It's actually quite fruity.
I prefer
it's
it
nicer
to
than
Gordon's.
Gordon.
It would not be Ginexplicable without some kind of Ginexplicable mystery. We're going to be talking about the missing Malaysian Airline Flight MH370. And I thought it was pretty appropriate to do that at this time, being that it is the 5-year anniversary. I brought you on the show not just because you're easily accessible and I have no friends, but you were an airline attendant for how long?
12 years.
Man.
I did my time to scam motherfucker. I was half a motherfucker.
And there's quite a lot of plane related shit that I had to get my head around. So you're great. You're great. It's great that you're here.
Do this, man. Fuck me up with conversation.
So on the 8th of March 2014, MH370 left Kuala Lumpur at just after midnight, bound for Beijing. It was your standard Boeing 777 passenger jet.
Well, I know all about that, man.
It was 11 years old, which is that pretty young in plane terms? In dog years? In plane years? Or is it?
Put it this way, in my experience, man. You don't want to be on a plane that's brand new because it has some teething problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like a child. You wait to a child, it falls over and makes mistakes. You know, most people don't know that an aircraft is never stationary, really, because if it is, it's losing money by the millions of pounds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it was deemed well enough for flying, it was in suitable condition, had no previous incidents, no previous faults with it.
Who said that?
But every source I've looked at. There were 227 passengers on board this jet, and that's not including the 12 crew and the 2 pilots who were named Zahari and Farik, both Malaysian citizens, totally competent pilots. The flight time from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing was just over 5.5 hours. We refueled enough for at least 7 hours and 30 minutes. I've been talking for a little while, so I'm just going to take a little sip. There's going to be a timeline here. I don't really like timelines, but this is kind of the way that it went. 1:19 a.m. the last verbal contact was made with flight MH370. The Kuala Lumpur radar had told them to switch to Vietnamese airspace, and the captain was like, yeah, thank you, good night, a Malaysian 370. And at 1:21 a.m. the plane had disappeared from radar screens, which had meant that the transponder was likely to be no longer working, and people had stated it was highly likely, due to there being no clouds or no weather conditions, that it was likely turned off manually.
I want some fucked up, crazy, Ginexplicable shit, man.
It was said that the military could still pick up their whereabouts, and they kind of gone back along, like a U-turn almost, along the Malaysian peninsula, which is fucked, right? They'd made a turn across the...
Why?
They'd made another turn across the Straits of Malacca, so they'd gone Penang.
So Malacca means in Greek.
No.
Wanker.
Does it?
Yeah. So it's not Malacca. Malacca in Greek means wanker, but anyway. Tell us the fucking theories, man.
So at 22 minutes past 2 that very evening, last confirmed that location, and it was in a place in the Indian Ocean. It had gone outside of the realms of the Malaysian military radar. But despite this, it was still making satellite communications after that. And that proved that it was still in the air, it was still it was flying. It's kind of everything went dead, and then it went in a straight line south over the Indian Indian Ocean. The air traffic control officials had tried to call the plane at 2:39 a.m. and it was ringing out. Signal was still being broadcast. Like they tried calling again after 7 a.m. Ringing out. No fucker answered that either. The plane was known to be still in air at 8:19. However, they did try to call at around about 9:15, and it didn't even ring. There was just no answer. It was said that the plane had gone down between 19 minutes past 8 and 9:15. What do you think about that first?
About what?
Anything I've just said. Huge search was conducted. They had searched 4.6 square kilometres and nothing was fucking found.
Literally gonna smash my face up on the table. We're both a bit hormonal. Your hair's nice though.
Thank you. In July 2015, a piece of wreckage was actually found on Reunion Island. Did you know this? And it was confirmed to be part of a wing of the MH370 plane. Also, multiple pieces of debris found off the coast of East Africa. But obviously there's like pretty much, for a big plane, there was fuck all found, man. So in January 2007, they just called this whole fucking search off. One last thing, a kind of fact, before we delve on into the theories. Are you aware of black boxes in planes?
What do you want to know about black boxes?
A black box records the activity and voices and shit. And like activity in the cockpit. It's designed to set off a ping if it's immersed in water, if the plane crashes, anything like that. And it's obviously assumed that this flight crashed. Why the fuck didn't it set off a ping?
The dude, whoever flew it, they knew what they were doing. They flew between like nations, fucking aerial beacons and stuff like that. They knew what they were doing. Yes, you can trace a black box anywhere, but it's only for like 36 hours or a few days, whatever. If it's in the middle of fucking nowhere, it's gone, man.
Let's dive into the theories.
One theory is that it was like the Russians. Look, it's completely fucked up. I was a flight attendant for many, many years. So there's absolutely no way a plane can go missing. It is actually impossible these days. It's not gone missing, did it? Okay, well, you know. Oh, I think it was a terrorist thing. So one of the pilots was in cahoots with the opposition of the Malaysian government, who it is dictatorship, whichever way they fucking spread it. This dude that was opposed to the Malaysian regime, he was the guy that had this simulator in his house and practiced landing on fucking remote beaches and stuff like that. I would not be surprised if this aeroplane and loads of people turn up 10, 20 years time. He's landed on a remote place. The Russians were fucking annihilating Ukraine at the time. It was just like, oh, if a plane goes missing, some big fucking thing, they shot it down. It just divert the media's attention from them fucking killing loads of Ukrainians, which is bizarre because about 4 months later a Malaysian airline was shot down over the Ukraine. Perhaps it was some oil deal, some political shit, grievance, whatever, with Russia. That's a theory. Also, I've got a really big theory that my flying experience, I spoke to pilots, they were saying to me, yeah, look, there's a lot of, it's very suppressed in Malaysia, it's dictatorship.
Do you think? I mean, do you reckon?
I don't think I know.
My idea I got with, Malaysia was quite lenient.
It's a dictatorship.
Do you still feel that?
No, I don't feel I know.
Okay.
Myself wearing a fucking hat talking about this sort of stuff. Perhaps this pilot or some crew member was not happy, and they said to the Malaysian government, we've hijacked the plane, we're going to crash it into the Petronas Towers, we want this, we want this, we want that. The Malaysian government went, alright, that's what you want, I'm not going to fucking take your bullshit terrorist bollocks. They probably just thought, let's shoot this motherfucker down, let's shoot them out the sky, Alas, end of story. No fucking threat to our capital city, and fair enough. Well, it's not fair enough. It's not. It's fucking horrible. Big theory of mine is, so this dude was fucking off with the plane and stuff. There's a US military base.
Can I just say something here?
No. There's a massive American military base off the south coast of Sri Lanka. It's fucking huge. They don't want no. It was quite soon after 9/11. They're like, we don't want no shit. We don't want no terrorists fucking flying around with a massive flying bomb. Basically, I think it was shot down, but no government wants to take responsibility for it, because it's them saying, yeah, we shot down and murdered 300 of your relatives and family and stuff, because for the safety of everyone else, which it probably had to be done. I'd like to think a nice scenario would be this dude that was practicing landing on little islands. He maybe had a obsession with Lost, and he's landed it on a tiny little fucking island in the middle of nowhere, and they're all still living there and they're all okay. In about 10 years it's going to be found. That'd be really nice, but I don't think that. I think it was shot down for military purposes and they're all dead, and that's really sad. And I think it was probably for political reasons. Oh, you never know, maybe it was aliens.
Been so many things that we have not discussed, but since the camera died and since we can't discuss what we kind of want to, what did you want to say about the theories? She is pretty anonymous with this shit. There is a theory that there was a lack of oxygen in the cabin, which resulted in the kind of like passing out and the death of the crew.
I know, it's taken over by terrorists, man. They were against the Malaysian government and they shut it down, but they don't want to admit it.
It's like, I'm not opposed to that in the slightest. I'm just kind of like playing devil's advocate in that sense. One of the pilots had used his online, like at home simulator to fly into the Petronas Towers, which is like kind of crazy, but then at the same time I think that, you know, if I was in a flight simulator pilot, I kind of might do the same thing. It could happen. Everyone takes that as so serious, but I do take that with a massive fucking pinch of salt, just because, you know, you're doing your thing on your own time. It's probably not alright, but it's not harming anyone. There was the alien theory, there was the black hole theory, both of which I can't back up. Can you back up?
Black hole.
So there was a theory of hijacking with two Iranians.
Two Iranians, a vegetarian and a vegan, walk into a bar and they say to each other,
it's those fucking dudes who were part of, like, just Iranian citizens, determined that they were actually asylum seekers. Was it shot down? What happened?
You never know, maybe it was aliens.